Oh shit. What's going on, cousins? Listen, I'm here. I came in a little bit early to make sure everybody got their notifications and shit like that, so they had time to go and get themselves set up and all that good stuff. So that's why I come in a little bit early, so that everybody will have a chance to get the notifications and know that I'm on live, and that tonight is the night. Listen, tonight is the night that we gather and we all come on over here to the thing and sit down and talk a little shit and go over a couple of topics and have some conversations about some of these worldly things that's going on. I'm trying to make sure my background is right. If it looks weird, somebody let me know. Bubble up in here. Shit. It looks a little weird to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. So, yes, I came in a little bit early to make sure that everybody was able to at least get their notifications. And remember that we are going live on Sunday nights at 7:15, where I'm going live. And hopefully y'all ass get down here and join me and talk a little shit with me over here in the room. Yes, it's 7:14. Y'all get your crown, get your Hennessy, your Boone's Farm, whatever it is you fuck with, State Farms, I don't fucking know. If you drink red wine from a box, I mean, shit, get your shit. Me, I'm over here again fucking around with the Douce. So come on, gather in the room. If you're already in here, I see 3 people in here so far. Go ahead and share this video with somebody so they can join the live and bring their ass down to the thing and make sure. I try to come in early because, like I said, I know there's some of y'all that's still over there trying to get saved, and y'all probably went to the church late tonight because you was too fucked up from last night to get up in there this morning. Thank God they don't trust you with leading no church song with the choir. You ain't had no solo set because you didn't show up. But make sure you share the live, share the video, share the channel, help it grow, because that's why I named it Cousins, or I call you all cousins, because I feel like it's family, and so family grows, right? So make sure that you're sharing the channel with other cousins, family, friends, co-workers, whatever it may be, people that you deal with on whatever level or whatever have you. And so it's 7:16. It's pouring down raining over here. I'm giving y'all a few more minutes. Look, Ashley, what's going on, cousin? No, you didn't miss it. You pretty much right on time. I can always depend on Ashley. She gonna show up down to the thing and show the people and participate in the fucking comment section. I mean, comment, say something, talk to your boy. Let me know you out there listening. Unless y'all, so I mean, I know some of y'all probably still cooking Sunday dinner and shit. Y'all didn't wake up to 2:00 and y'all decided to cook greens and mustard greens and shit and baked chicken and turkeys and roast hams and shit and hogs and whatnot. And baked cakes and all that shit. And everybody coming over to your house, and you probably got about 30 more minutes on the last dish before you can serve the cousins and shit over there at the house. So I understand, but shit, every once in a while, say something. Let me know you up in here. I had cooked too. I was trying to eat it before I got on live, but shit, time went so fast. I did some fried cabbage and a barbecue meatloaf and some baked macaroni and cheese. So I was about to polish off the last of that And fuck it up, but it's in the microwave now. The microwave and that's still beeping now because I ain't have a chance to eat it before I got on here. That's right, Ashley. Show them how it's done. Always comment. Always comment. Let me know how y'all feeling about the topics and all that good stuff. Look, I got people calling me, and I'm in the middle of a whole live, and people calling my phone trying to see what's up. Now, if they was on the fucking live, they would know not to call the fucking phone. I don't understand. Thank you, Jay Daniel. I mean, I a last minute purchase, but I mean, of course, you are watching greatness. I don't know how it's supposed to go. There it goes. The camera fucking me up. You are watching greatness. Greatness does sit before you. As I am trying to entertain other greatness out there over the airways. But it's what? It's 7:18. I guess I'll get into it because it's raining like a motherfucker out here. The people above my head, I guess the rain is activating them, so they decided to do some other shit up there, but whatever. So anyway, welcome to the channel. Of course, welcome back again. Cocktails with Ajaered over here at 7:15 every Sunday night, 7:15 p.m., where we will be discussing topics that I deem fit to motherfucking discuss. I mean, and just coming up with different stuff, you know, to talk about. And if you are a member of the channel, great. Thank you for coming down to the thing. Thank you for being a member. Thank you for supporting me all of this time or any of this time, because without you all, there would be no me. So I always have to stop and say thank you so much for everything that you guys do for me. I feel like I ask for so much and you guys give me so much more in return. So again, thank you. But also make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you're sharing the channel. And make sure you are subscribed so that when I go live at 7:15 p.m. on Sunday nights, you can be one of the first ones to jump on here like Ashley Love and jump in the comments section and do just like Ashley always do too. Ashley she be the main one that blesses me over there in the Cash App collection place. So y'all make sure y'all just check that portion out. If y'all find anything worthy that I might spew out these big ass lips, if y'all decide, y'all want to bless the channel, because again, we're trying to grow. So the bigger I become, the bigger you guys become. But before I start off with the show tonight, I was reminded, I was just thinking about, I was on the phone with a friend, a great friend of mine back home in the Big Raggedy. And we were having this discussion. We were on the phone talking. And while we were talking, he mentioned that out of the nowhere, he was like, well, there's this stud, that's really trying to get at me, yada, yada, yada. And, she looked good and she's really trying and this and that and the third. And that conversation ensued, right? So, which pretty much led over into a different conversation, but still similar. He asked me, because, he's family. He asked me, he said, it's basically there's this new thing going around where the gay guys are getting with what they call stud women, which is the masculine female in a lesbian relationship traditionally. They have the gay guys running around with the stud women, which they had that era before, before I moved from the Big Raggedy. But it's, I guess, now on the uprise again, just like chlamydia and all the rest of this shit. But we had a long conversation. We were just, kikiing and leg slapping and just going crazy, laughing and shit. And he was asking me, he said, would you ever consider being in a relationship with a stud? And I was like, fuck no. I was like, no. He was like, not even kissing or nothing like that. I'm like, fuck no. That's just not my thing. I mean, first of all, you're asking me a question like that. Let's just start with the kissing portion, okay? Let's start at a minimum before we get to the big shit. To me, making mouth love to a stud, to me, would be like kissing an Irish man on St. Patty's Day that just ate baked fish and been drinking motherfucking green Irish beer all day long. You got that big ass flavor saver across there, and it holds a scent, and it just, to me, would be like kissing that of an Irish man on St. Patty's Day, and I just can't think about doing it. I love my lesbian counterparts across the board, no problem, but No, I'm not finna make my no fucking mouth love to one. I'm not finna now I don't sit up here and ate all this charcuterie. No. I don't eat no curry and never have, never will. So but I mean, as close as I came to a tuna, salad, but to a fish or whatever they call it, is bitch Star Kiss in the can. And I don't even fuck with that no more. I don't even fuck with the fancy albacore tuna. So no, I'm not gonna do that. I respect my ladies, but I don't eat no charcuterie. That's not my ministry. Never have and never will. I don't give a fuck how much you offer, how much you paying. No, these big soup coolers here. Let me put them in the camera. Let me see how close I can get. These big soup coolers ain't going to be doing no carpet munching. We not eating no charcuterie. We not doing that. Never. And if you ever hear tell of it, you best believe somebody had a gun in my head and told me for sure that they would blow the back of these old tin can ass braids out my fucking head if I didn't. And 9 times out of 10, I don't know what to stick. I don't know what I would do. I'm just saying. Maybe that's when, fight or flight gonna kick in with me, and I'm gonna have to lay around there and just whoop his ass or her ass, whomever. It's like, we're not doing that. So that friend, you know who you are, and the answer, bitch, was on the phone was no, and the answer on live is no. I would not. That is not a fad that I am into. Maybe a fad, but not a fad. I'm just not into that one. That's not gonna work for me. So anyway, I just had to get that off my spirit because that shit sat with me for a while after we got through talking about it on the phone, and he just wouldn't let it go. What are you drinking tonight? Do say Coke and grenadine is what I'm on tonight. That is a suggestion for you all. Now listen, like I said, you show up with your cocktail, your mocktail, your weed pipe, your blunt, your joint, your crack pipe, whatever the fuck you come down here with. But I will tell you, a good cocktail will always get you where you need to go. Now, I had probably 2 before I got on here, which is why my eyes probably sitting like 4 flats on the Cadillac. But I'm doing the best I can to look up Marlon and say cheese and get my shit together and look into the camera. As I'm always told I need to look into the camera. So I'm trying to follow that. But anyway, I'm going to go on and get into some of these topics because I'm already 12 minutes in and I don't want to be like your pastor and hold y'all too long because we need to get to the collection plate, and check that out a little bit faster at Ajaered Productions. Because it's not a requirement to join the family, to be over here and hit the subscribe button. It's not a requirement. That's if you feel it in your shundo. If you feel it in your old biblioshi, you know what I'm saying? That's when you go over there and do that. If you feel the same way you do when you over there at the church, and your pastor's hooping, hollering, spitting in that mic like he be doing over there on a Sunday morning, if the way he makes you feel, you want to jump up, and the Holy Ghost makes you want to just grab your pocketbook or your phone and hit the cash app, that's the only time, but it's not a requirement. Anyway, so tonight's topics, one of the things I want to talk about is, as you guys know, Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is a very, 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 very big business. They've been serving chickens and, having cows do their bidding and shit like that in their commercials. They serve them chicken sandwiches y'all like, with the cheese on there, sometimes without it. The macaroni that be so fucking good, I'm not gonna lie. I protested them for a while because I know they don't fuck with the gays, but they have somebody's Yiddish grandma in that back room, and they done made that bitch cook them macaroni and cheese, especially when they got the little almost burnt part on top. I'm more inclined to almost think she's a blackish nanny, a grandma, but whatever the case, the bottom line is, I guess Chick-fil-A, maybe they do franchising, or they like a lot of companies, they do franchising. So they have, decent food, but their morals and what they stand for and all that jazz is quite different and very Christian, right? They have very Christian values. I'm trying to stay clean in this bitch, and I'm trying not to get canceled because we just not getting on a good foot. So I ain't trying to get canceled. But they're very Christian. Something is going on with the background, but I'll fix that shit later. So, but this particular one, we know they don't fuck with the gays. They don't, they ain't really LGBTQ friendly, but they will serve you with a smile. They will most times make sure that your order is correct, and they have gone up in price. Of course, now they're high as a motherfucker. But anyway, this particular one over here in Maryland, a gentleman by the name of Marquise Van Zegel, I guess I'm maybe pronouncing it wrong, right or wrong, I don't fucking know. He's upset because Chick-fil-A would not terminate an employee that violated him. Let me explain. So Marquise Conzego or Conzigo, whatever his fucking name is, he went down into the Chick-fil-A and got in the line and told the people he wanted whatever, yada 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 yada. Instead of them putting Marquise, they put monkeys as the name to retrieve the order. They put monkeys, and so he's upset that when he actually got his receipt, which he showed, that actually said monkeys. We know your name goes for your order, yada yada yada, and so on and so on. They put monkeys, plural. So he's upset because he's calling for the termination of this Chick-fil-A employee. I don't know if it's a man. I don't know if it's a woman. They're not going to release their information because basically the reason why they won't terminate them is because they're a minor, which of course also doubled down as the reason as to why they have not mentioned, demographics about whoever the employee was, right? So, but they're saying that this franchise location refuses to terminate this employee because they're underage. They're under the age of 18. Let me say this. I feel like this is a big lesson for whoever this individual is that put monkeys on this paper, because they're saying he could have heard something different in the speaker box, some shit like that. Now, I just don't buy it. I'm not buying what they're selling as an excuse as to why they did not terminate the employee. Because I can tell you, over here in Texas, probably more than likely, if they did some shit, especially if it was one of us, and you put if one of us put crackers, as the name for the order, bitch, you finna get fired. You can go down there now and call the Texas unemployment line and let them folk know that you need some compensation because you ain't got no job no more. They're gonna fire your ass. I think this would have been a decent American lesson for this young individual that is under the age of 18 that probably did this shit as a joke. Or maybe they did it because they're actually racist. I don't know. The bottom line is the kid should be terminated because they're basically a kid. Terminate the fucking kid. It's not an abortion. It's a termination. And it's not a termination of the fetus. It's a termination of this employee that made a fuck up and called a customer that came through our drive-through, patronized our business and bought X, Y, and Z from our business, our corporation, and whether it be a franchise or not, the person that owns it, more of these people care more about the customer service that their employees give off. Well, I know it used to be at one time. I don't know, because these days I done got some customer service that just make me want to stay the fuck home. But for the most part, customer service always usually exuded, trying to please the customer as best as you possibly could without pretty much putting yourself in some kind of harm or putting yourself out to an extent or whatever have you, blah, blah, blah. But the fact that this motherfucker put monkeys on that paper, this child should be fired. Terminate this motherfucker and let them know that this kind of behavior is not going to be tolerated in the world that we live in currently. This is not the behavior that is going to be socially acceptable. I mean, I've had to do it before, but the kid actually did some shit just like this one. So I do think that that Marquise is absolutely right. I think that he should probably seek legal advice to see what is he can actually do against this franchise, because at the end of the day, they need to understand that they work for us, the corporations, and whoever works underneath them. No, they shouldn't, be prepared to deal with all this belligerent behavior from a customer, but at the very least, not be subject to some kind of racial slurs, as being the consumer to a business that has been built off the back of the consumers. So it's truly not fair. And at the end of the day, I guarantee you, 9 times out of 10, this kid wasn't black. I bet you. They're not going to show me. Probably never know who they were, because they have such good reason not to let us know who they are, because they are minor. And so due to that, we are not, they can't legally do that. So, but I still think it's the responsibility of the owner and proprietor of that specific Chick-fil-A over there in Maryland that they call for the termination of this employee. I think it's a rightful decision. I think his little ass or her little ass need to be fired, and let them go down there and work at the go-kart thing, or let them go work at Burger King or somewhere, Popeyes, and let them see what real disrespect look like when they ain't got that 10-piece ready when you drive through that drive-through on your lunch break and you order for the office, because they always pay you in chicken or some shit. Or you go and pick up them pizzas, send them over to Domino's. They'll learn hard work is, and they respect that paycheck they was getting over at the Chick-fil-A. And they'll, and they can practice my pleasure, that kind of thing. All right. What else? So I guess around 10:36 this morning, I don't know where y'all at, but whatever 10:36 was your time, there was a young gentleman in Philadelphia that was caught in the bed with an 18-year-old woman. Now, this is what the paper said, right? Over in Philadelphia, this is what the news said. An 18-year-old woman, the 40-year-old man was caught in the bed with an 18-year-old woman. Who they was caught by? But let me tell you. They were caught by the mother and the stepdad that had come home. I don't know if they had went out for brunch, lunch, or what the fuck they went out for. They had just been coming in from last night's events. But they came in and caught the man in the bed with the little girl. I ain't gonna even say little girl because she was 18, so according to the law, she was a woman. They shot him and set him on fire. Yeah. They shot him and set him on fire. The man ran out into the street where, some people decided to, be some good Samaritans and actually help put the fire out and put his ass out and help him out. They discovered when they got into the hospital that not only he had, a particular level of degree of burns pretty much all over his body, and that he had been shot. He had a gunshot wound. So when I saw this story, there were a few things that crossed my mind, right? One of the things was when because they say you got to read, they taught you in English and language or whatever the fuck you took. Read the context clues. So my heart started pumping when I seen 40-year-old man caught in bed with. But then when I seen 18-year-old woman, it relieved some of that from me, because they didn't kill him, Ashley. Oh no, and I'm very serious. Jay Daniel. But no, they didn't kill him. He actually survived. He's in the hospital, in critical condition. But I'm sorry, stable condition. He's in the hospital in a stable condition. So he's going to make it. But listen, that's got to be rough. To be lying in the bed. And my thing is, okay, let me break it down to you like this. On the parent side, I see. On his side, so I'm 50-50 on this one, because me, as a 40-year-old man, I'm not going to go to no motherfucker by the house, not knowing that ain't your shit. And if I know you're 18 years old, you still, first of all, we even I'm 40, you 18. What the fuck we got to talk about? Pokemon? Sailor Moon? Paw Patrol? What the fuck? There's nothing. There's a big gap and distance in between that. They are just now becoming a young adult. They don't know what the fuck they like. They don't know what the fuck they want most of the time. And they're just out there ready to explore life and just see what it is life has to offer for them. And they're willing to make pretty much most of the time whatever fucking mistake they have to make to learn that lesson. They're willing to do it, even pretty much sometimes if it comes at the cost of their life or somebody else's. So what you have to understand is, as a 40-year-old man, you stupid than a motherfucker for being down there laying up in that little girl's bed. Because let's be honest, as the mind of 18-year-olds, not all of them, but as the mind of some 18-year-olds, you know, the hormones are raising. They want to fuck something. They want to get busy. They want to do the old yum bouncy, or they just want to shop, or they have certain things that they want to do to prove that they're an actual adult, right? And so one of those things is sneaking grown 40-year-old men, no matter what his aesthetics look like, no matter what his demographics look like, no matter how good looking he was, at the end of the day, he should have been mature enough to know better than to be found with his funky ass lamp in that bed when the people got home. There's no way in the world you about to get me to my showing to an 18-year-old's house. You got me fucked up. I seen what Christian and them be doing to them people, for one, and that just ain't my type of hype. I need somebody that matches my energy, matches my level, matches my intelligence, and a whole plethora of other things that makes a difference, you know. And even us 40-year-olds, we don't know what the fuck we got going on. We know we won't now at that point, and we damn near at a point to where shit, now you playing catch up from some shit if you ain't done all your shit right. I'm talking to those that have done some fucking up, like your pastor say out there in your life, not y'all ones that been living your whole lives and y'all got your parents bought your cars and all that different stuff. All that stuff is fine and dandy as well. You ain't never done with nothing because you had a closer walk with you and all that stuff. I ain't talking to y'all. I'm talking to the ones that done been through some shit, them kind of people. But what I'm saying is, there is no way in the world as a 40-year-old gentleman, because he wasn't no gentleman. He just wanted to, he wanted to get booty. There's no way. So him having hot dick syndrome, I really don't feel bad for him. I don't. I mean, if it was that serious, hotel, motel, Holiday Inn. But don't have your crusty foot ass laying up in them people's house where they pay the rent at, and they child is still living under their roof in their house, and you laid up rubbing foot watching Paw Patrol with your child. You over there fucking, listen, come on now. You up there laying up in the bed watching anime with the child. That ain't no different from a straight up sex predator. Find a woman of your age. Now you're going to have a hard time finding anybody your age, because now you got burnt ding-a-ling syndrome. Now your ding-a-ling and all your stuff burned up. And now, you know, I don't know if he's able to walk or what the deal is, if he got any kind of permanent damage. But I know for one thing, high ding-a-ling disease is what he got. You ain't have to worry about getting burnt. Because listen, it's Labor Day weekend. They did the barbecue early and they had sausage on the menu. Oh my God. Yeah, sausage on the menu. And the fucked up part about it, he bought the buns. He even brought the buns. So I mean, he supplied the meat, they supplied the coal, and I mean, it is what it is. So I don't feel bad for him because you shouldn't have been over there in the first place with your ass laid up in the people's house. You shouldn't have had your funky foot ass, your dirty sock, Levi's sock wearing ass, them supposed to be white socks, they gray. You should have been laying up in the people's house, humping on their daughter, you know, on Labor Day weekend. You should have been somewhere at home with a jug of glass, with a Vaseline, and honey, find you something down there on what it is, the porn hub or whatever the fuck they got. Find you something to watch, because if it was that, you know, was it worth it? Was it worth it? That's what. If I interviewed him right now, my biggest and first question would be, well, was it worth it? And did you get a chance to get some? Did you get some of that young whip snap puss? You know? And if you did, was it worth it? Now, on the flip side of the pillow, I was going to go in on the pants. My thing is, their action does not, their actions were not justifiable. Their ass is locked up. Yeah. They got them in the pen. They probably about to do some time. I'm sure they're about to do some time. I mean, if they got a good lawyer, which I'm not one to be giving out no legal advice, maybe they'll, you know, in the crime of passion, you know, some shit, a crime of passion. Although it wasn't their partner or something, nothing like that. They walked in and flashed out and lost their mind because they thought their daughter was being scraped. And probably all actually after their daughter probably taught that 40-year-old man some new shit. Just saying, I don't know. If he hadn't had it in that long, he had to have not been taught enough to stay his stupid ass up out of people's house. But the result does not make sense as to why they, you know, cooked this man ass and they barbecued this man ass before Labor Day. But I do think the parents probably need to be on some kind of probation or something. I say they should probably get probation. Because, I mean, you got to think about it. That's your little girl. And who knows, hopefully the stepdaddy ain't never been up in there doing nothing, because he probably was mad because he found his side chick up in there with another man. So he probably was the one that shot him, and the mama probably one was cooked his ass. So, but I can kind of, I don't want to imagine ever that any parent would have to go through the fact of coming in and catching their daughter in the act of something and not knowing and acting in a way that could cost them their lives, ultimately by being jailed for the rest of their lives because they acted in what they may have thought in defense of their daughter. You know what I mean? And probably 9 times out of 10, they never met this man, or maybe they knew him. Who knows? We don't know the full story because they didn't put that much in there. I'm just going how what the fuck I read and what I gathered from the news over there in Maryland, and what the people had to say down there in the bibliography thing when they was talking about the situation and the people's in the main got a ding-a-ling and carrying on burning. When you talk about the big barbecue over there in Philly. I mean, not Maryland, Philly. And I didn't think barbecue was a big thing in Philly. But I think the parents probably should do some kind of, like I said, what I said, shit, the liquor is hidden. But they ought to get some kind of probation for what they've done, because I can only imagine, again, walking in and seeing that going on with my child at 18, because some parents at 18, of course, all parents mostly think that at 18, that's still their baby. Shit, most times they can be probably 40 and their parents are 80 and they still see them as their babies. So they always are pretty much kind of acting in that defense mode. But at the same time, I probably would have, the daughter would have had to get some dealings too. And anger management. I agree, Ashley. Anger management, you know, and some therapy, some anger management therapy, yeah, or some psychotherapy to make sure they get the, you know, the probation and stuff, and that they ain't got to do no jail time. But that daughter would have got touched, because First of all, you ain't hit, like my grandma say, you ain't hitting a lick at a snake in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You ain't paying no bills up in here, and you think you able to have sexual relations in my house? Oh, she'd have had to get the paws put on her too. They cooked his meat. They should have beat her meat. I'm just saying. Because at the end of the day, she put everybody's lives in danger. She was the nucleus of the entire operation. She put everybody's lives in danger, including her own. Because what if this 40-year-old man had turned out kind of fucking murderer? You know, he ain't just come to kill the charcuterie. He ain't just come to kill the punana. He done fool around and, you know, done hunched on her. You know, they do that thing with their holding her neck and whatnot. And he done fool around and crushed her trachea and shit just off of some shit. I done watched enough Law and, you know, and SV Unit and stuff. I know what I'm talking about. He could have been any kind of killer. So she put her own life in danger. She put his in danger when she got that man shot in the ass and got his ding-a-ling and buns cooked up. Now she done put her mother and some her new stepdaddy in trouble. Her new stepdaddy in trouble. Oh my side. Her new stepdaddy in trouble because now he done fool around and acted some kind of fool, you know, by walking in and seeing sexual relations going on with this 40-year-old man laying up in the bed. So everybody, even that man, well, I will say that man that got his ass cooked up, maybe he suffered enough of a lesson, but I think he ought to be put on some kind of probation too. So he'll also know the law, you know, how they say, insult to injury, because I know that ass is injured. If he ever even get to use that bitch again, it won't be too soon. And so the insult to be also you got probation for trespassing or something. I don't know. Give his ass something. Everybody need to pay for this one. Everybody need to pay for this one. Anyway, moving on because I'm already 37 minutes in. Where I want to go because I got some other shit on here. Let me see. Because y'all not be writing shit down because I'm a man of a particular age. So look, now this on some scurry shit. Have y'all, if y'all, you know, got your own Netflix account because you know you ain't looking at nobody else's because these days they not playing that shit no more. So you ain't sharing your cousin Bonquiqui's account and Aunt Betty and all them shit. You ain't finna, you know, y'all ain't paying for the shit at Momo house and everybody sharing the account. They're not doing that shit no more. So you have to have your own. So if you got your own Netflix account, you probably have, or may not have, if you're not into scurry shit, you probably ain't seen that movie they call The Deliverance. Listen, if you ain't watched it, I'm gonna tell you one or two things. If you like scary movies, and you know you pretend like scary movies and you say you ain't no scary bitch, when nightfall come, I suggest you watch this bitch in the morning and go and watch a couple of comedy shows and some stand-up comedy and shit for the rest of the day so that won't fuck with your mental. When nightfall come, especially if you live by yourself or got to sleep by yourself, bitch, watch that shit in the morning. So you got time to pray and all that shit. So you ain't got nothing going on. You know, you ain't got no shibuki and shit in your house. And you ain't feeling no way with your mental, you can go to sleep at night. Because listen, it fucked me up a little bit. It wasn't all that scary because I like scary shit. But this wasn't all that bad until a certain point. Now, if you watched it, I'm gonna give you a little taste of it, but you gotta still go watch it for yourself. People always talking about you ain't spoiling the movie for me because you told me all about it. No, the fuck it don't spoil it for me because I still want to see what the fuck's going on. I still go watch it. Talk all you want to. I'm still gonna watch it if I really want to see it. Because there are some details that your ass didn't see because you probably fell asleep or some shit or got him had to go piss. And you know what I'm saying? You'd have missed something. That's why it didn't make sense to you. It didn't match up. So I had to watch it for myself. So I'm going to tell y'all like this. Watch it in the daytime. You know, say your prayers and shit, your Hail Marys and all that different stuff. Burn your sage and all that shit in the house before, during, and probably after if you're a scurry bitch like that. But listen. And that's for the ones that like it or pretend to anyway. For the ones that don't do scary movies, and you know you live by yourself, Don't fuck with this. Just take it as a warning for me. Now, if you want to go in there and watch it for yourself and see how you feel about it, kill Supreme. Do your big one. But don't blame me when your ass up in there with all the lights on and your bill up for next month and you're crying and carrying on and shit talking about you wasn't using that much air because it wasn't that hot where you live at and you got it set and all that shit. No, bitch. That was that week of light you left on all night long in every fucking angle of the room because your ass was scared because I told you not to go watch the shit in the first place. Now listen to me what I say. That shit fucked me up a little bit. I was rolling with it for a good while. Now y'all know Monique is in it, Glenn Close is in it. If y'all know anything about them people, and there was a couple other motherfuckers up in there that I probably didn't recognize or remember their name because I don't know, the people like that. Okay. The movie was pretty good. But I knew there was a problem when Glenn Close went down to the church and asked the pastor, which was I can't remember the girl's name, that crazy ass girl on Why Did I Get Married that was married to Marcus. When she was the pastor of a church, and when I knew what she did when she told her, "Oh, I don't fuck with that kind of shit. I don't even do that kind of shit." You know what I'm saying? You had to find somebody else. Because at first she didn't believe what Glenn Close was telling her was going on down to the house with the children and all this different shit here, right? But when she told her she seen the seriousness in her face, she leaned up on the desk and told her, listen, with that famous bob she wears, she told her, listen, find you another pastor, another church, probably another religion to fix this shit because I'm not your bitch. I don't fuck with that kind of shit, right? So Glenn Close got the fuck up because they moved into this house and the house started fucking them all up and shit started, fucking around with the kids and doing all kind of crazy ass shit. And I'm watching it and I'm sitting there saying like, this shit ain't that scary. It's fine. The only thing going on is a little boy banging his head and shit. Ain't no howling going on, no fucked up scary figures coming out, making me want to jump over the back of the sofa. So I'm not seeing any of that shit going on in the movie. And now that you got Monique in it, I'm looking at myself, okay, there have to be some kind of comedy relief in this bitch because they got Monique in here. She did the other movie, I can't remember the name of it, but I watched it when she killed all them motherfuckers up in that house. Y'all saw it. If you didn't, go back and look at it. It was a good movie. I think it was on Netflix also. But this particular movie, I'm saying, if Monique is in this movie, there is no way that it's that scary. Because the last one was scary. It frightened me a little bit. It gave me the wigglies and some shit like that or whatever for a minute during the movie. But I was able to watch it again. Okay, was done with that. This one, though, it had Monique's comedic relief, but there was still, towards the end, some real freaky shit going on that had me wanting to pause that bitch, turn it off, or just pretend to go to sleep. But I couldn't listen to what the fuck was going on because when they decided to do the exorcism and all this different shit, that's why they call it the deliverance, because they don't want to call it an exorcism, but it's pretty much the same shit. But it was depicted off a real story with this black woman and 3 children that, one of them went batshit crazy behind being possessed behind, with some shit over there. And I don't even know where the fuck it was at. Well, but go look it up. It's all over TikTok now. Now that the deliverance has come out. But I want to point out a couple of things. The comedic relief really was there for me. That really did give me a big relief and a big sigh of relief of watching this movie because it didn't go like what's the movie? Not The Nun. The Nun was pretty but Poltergeist or this fucking movie with the husband and wife where they go out and be doing all this fucking different shit with this doll and shit. Different stuff. There's some wiggly shit out there. You know what I'm saying? But this really wasn't it until they kind of got to the end where bitches started getting possessed and started doing some weird shit. Now, one of the weird things was when they started the deliverance, the thing shapeshifted and it went to Glenn Close, which was Ebony's mama in the movie, right? I ain't gonna tell you the whole thing because there's some shit going on with Glenn Close that's the character that Glenn Close plays. But the thing shapeshifted into Glenn Close. And the first thing it said was I can smell your nappy pussy. Now that shit right there, that shit had me hollering so loud to the point I had to rewind it. That gave me a relief, should I say, from the little bit of fear that was twinkling up in my ass, a little bit, the little bit of fear that was getting, stirred up in me. It gave me a little release because it was so fucking funny. And the way it looked, it was so ugly. But when it said what it said to the black woman that was, doing the deliverance, it was too funny. And again, like I mentioned before, having Monique in that movie, she was a not child welfare checker, but some shit, work for the law enforcement or something that come in and check on the criminals every once in a blue moon to make sure they're doing what they're supposed to do and shit like that. And there's a couple of lines she had when she asked Glenn Close what the fuck she was looking at when she walked in the house, because Glenn Close had a resting bitch face and was mean mugging when she walked in because she didn't want her there. The fuck you looking at? What she told her. Then she left. She told her old girl, she say, Ebony say, have a good day, Cynthia. She said, you have a better one, Ebony. You and your cockeyed mammy. That shit, that took me in. So there were a few moments that actually balanced out the ending where there was so much frightening and I guess shit that was there that could actually fuck you up, because they let you get through the whole thing. The kids acting weird, some weird funky shit going on in the house, but you didn't really start getting to it, the meat and potatoes, until you got to the end and shit started coming in and start, tripping out. I mean, weirding the fuck out. All in all, that to say, with that movie, if I was to rate it, 0 being the worst and 10 being the best, I would say on Netflix, I would say probably I would rate that one probably a 7. Maybe even an 8. And the 8 is because of the comedy part that was there. Because in the beginning, with the way it started off, there was pretty much no fucking way of telling what was going on. Like, why are these people acting this way? What is going on? And then later on, you begin to understand, if you stick with them. It was almost like a Tyler Perry movie. If you stick with them, you'll find out the purpose and the backstory. So you have to just watch the shit and probably, like I say, for you scared motherfuckers, watch it with the lights on too in the daytime, with the blinds open and the dog with you. So just in case you feel some kind of way, you feel protected, and hold your cross or something, and I don't know, crucifix, and put some garlic around your neck. Because I think that always gets it done. Put some garlic around your neck. And when you go to bed at night, go down to the HEB or the Publix or the Walmart and get you some garlic, right? Line that shit around your bed and put it around your neck. Ain't nobody got to know your new scent at work. Spray on some other shit. You can wear that under your uniform, under your clothes. You can turn that bitch into a necklace. Whatever you need to do. Here, put in your socks. Sleep with some holy water. I don't know, some holy oil or something. But for you scared motherfuckers, yeah. Think about it. What's next on the list? We are 48 minutes in. What's next on the list? Okay, I got 3 things left here. I'm gonna go with the Braxtons. On this one. I've been watching it. I've told you guys on the last Sunday that I thought about actually following it and actually doing it as a weekly video, at least posting that, of course, to still give you guys a notion that I'm still here and I'm still with you all as well. So I've thought about doing that, but it really never got to a point that it was interesting enough to where I felt that it would draw you all's attention, to those videos that I was doing. You know what I'm saying? I didn't feel like it may have been a good use of my time to spend, even if it was 30 to 45 minutes to record and post that video. I felt like it wasn't even worth the time to do it I felt like it was pretty much worth, at minimum, during the lives at 7:15 on Sunday nights. Don't forget. I felt like that it was worth putting it in that lineup because the things that are going on and the way that things are falling and the way I'm watching social media as it pertains to the Braxtons and their new return over on I think it's WeTV. Um, I think the biggest cash cow with this show that's going to be carrying the Braxtons for this season is again going to be Tracy. Even in her absence, I was actually listening to Tracy's song, her album, and one of my favorite songs that she made was "Last Call." And I was thinking to myself, I said, "Well, damn, I really wish Tracy would have done more music because I would have bought it for the simple fact of Tracy really has a good texture voice. She really had detailed vocals that would have carried her at least a decent ways in the music industry to where she would have made a nice coin. Not that she didn't anyways, but I feel like had she put out more music, I felt like maybe she didn't even know how many fans that she had, lying beneath the seams of everything. But had Tracy put out any more music, I would have bought it. And I said that off of again, pretty much just Last Call. Or was it? Yeah, Last Call. Because listening to her voice, it has a beautiful texture between like Tony and 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 Tamar. It doesn't have a Tamar range, um, and it probably pretty much has about a Tony Braxton range, but at the same time, the texture was so pure with her voice, and it made a statement. Her voice had a staple in it. You know how you hear certain voices of people, any human being. That's just how your cognitive thinking, how your brain works, along with your listening and all of your other senses. When you're used to a voice and you hear it and you associate it with something, whether it even be speaking, singing, or whatever you're used to hearing that voice in. Like anybody that knows Beyonce's voice can listen and say, "Oh, that's Beyonce," or "That's Nita Baker," or "That's Patty," or even some of those voices that don't seem so defined or so distinct. Hers had something so natural to it and so different and organic to it, to the point it was very different. It was very distinct. It had, like I said, those characteristics I named before. Um, the depth of Tony, but and also the same pureness of butteryish, silky soul feeling of Tamar and Tony together. It was such a good medium. Um, it was just astonishing. But I feel like they're riding again off the back of Tracy's death, and they're pretty much just making a not a mockery of her death. I don't want to say that, but for you all coming back after so long after Tracy's death, and now y'all revealing all this other stuff, and we're finding out you guys don't want Tracy's husband on the Braxtons. Y'all want nothing to do with him. He stepped out of line having a ceremony or a funeral and all of these things. And now I found today when I watched the latest episode that the son is also kind of pretty much agreeing with Tony and the rest of the girls, saying that he's pretty much, after meeting with um, the attorney told Lil Kev that everything in the days of his mom being in her sound mind and body, the things that she was telling him that she wanted, she allowed him to record those things in order for those things to go on record as to who she wanted her sole executor to be over her estate, which turned out to be Lil Kev. She didn't choose her husband. Um, all in all, what I can gather, they were leaving it off to be pretty much kind of a continuation to the next episode as kind of a filler, saying basically we'll pretty much confirm then that two, along with what Trina was bitching about, that Tracy did not want a funeral service. She did not want a viewing. She did not want a funeral. She wanted pretty much, like they said, an immediate cremation after her descent. Um, Oh yes, Ashley, they did do the storyline. I told y'all from the beginning, the very first live, that was going to be their storyline. Why? Because they shared that storyline in common because they're family. And not only are they family, but their immediate family, their actual a sibling has passed away. And the fact that they're actually famous, just imagine what kind of fame the Jacksons would have gotten off this had they did a reality show after Michael Jackson passed. Just imagine. They would probably be up there with the Kardashians with their reality show. They were, you know, if it was, you see, what other famous family there's out here? Help me out, y'all. I can't think of anybody else, but I can think of the Jackson Fives and all those. You know, had they done a reality show, they would be all in. But they're separately doing their own thing. They're pretty much doing what it takes to keep anything that would have made Michael Jackson look like negative in any light, any form of light. They're making sure to keep that under wraps. They're doing their little speaking here and there with what's going on with the estate and all that different stuff. But a lot of the things that they speak about are because they want the public to know so that we can weigh in on as the public and know that they're being railroaded behind the scenes, such as Catherine. So, but again, there's so many signs that say it's been 2 years, and the way they're presenting themselves, especially this latest episode tonight that I watched from Friday, I completed watching. They haven't really been together even as a family for any occasion since Tracy's passing. So, but like that's what kind of gives me a little bit of what gives a little bit of truth to what Tamar said in the last episode when she mentioned that Tawanda is talking to her, answering her calls because they're filming, right? So it plays a part in my mind to say that there's so much turmoil and so much toxicity within this family that we've seen. If Iyanla couldn't motherfucking fix it, I told y'all before, if Iyanla couldn't fix your life, you know what I'm saying, you fucked. Oh, you listen, Ashley. The thing about it is the storyline with Lil Kev is gonna. I think, in my opinion, is gonna actually go only so far. When I say only so far, I mean to those of us that really actually give a fuck, or that are even interested still in the Braxtons, or to anybody that's actually out there looking at any of their social media. It's going to only make a difference to those of us that actually watch them and attend. And the reason I say that is because we're actually going to find out, again, like I just said, who's the sole, executive over this woman's estate, over Tracy's estate. And we're going to find out the rumors that are true, that are so evidently true against Tracy's husband, Big Kevin. I don't know what the fuck it is about Lil Kevs and Big Kevs. Look at Wendy and her son. They say, listen, she was just seen out there over there at Dr. Seaby's old son's old place, getting us some herbs and shit, for herself. We probably gonna talk about that in a second. But getting back to Tracy, because I gotta stay on point because the liquor be running me all around the motherfucking track, and I got the burn rubber in one direction. But I think with Lil Kev's story, it'll get more traction and probably more sympathy, especially now that we know that he's lost his mother in the last couple of years. He's now losing his wife to divorce. He's been arrested. He's going through all kind of shams and bullshit and butt fuckery since, episode 2, right? So he, if nothing else, we as the public and Tracy's fans or of the Braxtons, of whomever, we have watched Lil Kev grow, and we watched Lil Kev become a father. We watched Lil Kev get married and all this other stuff. So for, again, those of us that really give a fuck or watch the show or even care about them all together are the only ones that are actually tuning in to actually monetize and swelter the story behind Lil Kev and what's going on with him. So yeah, I think it's going to get some traction because not only those things in which I've named, but because too, you people that have lost a mother, which thank God I have not, because mine will be here to see me soon. And I'm gonna feed her motherfucking ass to the point where she's gonna be just fine. But for those who have lost a mother at a young age or at any point, that is going to gain the sympathy of those watchers, those viewers. It is going to gain again the sympathy of us viewers that actually have watched him grow, right? And want to actually know, is his father at fault for something? Or is it just, the girls being bitches, for lack of a better phrase? You know what I mean? Um, it's just Braxton's family bullshit is what it looks like right now. Like I said, because of the simple fact that now that you're going to come back, y'all going to make a few more dollars off the fact that your sister has passed away, and you guys get to get on camera, boo-hoo, crying shit. But this is the first time that you all have been together as a family in totality before since she's passed. That makes absolutely no sense. Y'all have the means and the money to say that if we're all mourning that for Thanksgiving or Christmas, if nothing else, her favorite holidays, let's gather at her house. Even if her husband said he had to sell and get out of it, maybe he couldn't afford it because all the money went to Lil Kev, but y'all should have gone back and bought it and celebrated something at her house. If that was too painful, just get together on an island or some shit and celebrate the holidays as a family. But they're not doing that. Why? Because again, I keep telling you all, there is something going on behind the scenes of this family. There are some secrets that we almost got to when they was over there with Iyanla and Bishop, swallowing them up. We found out a lot of stuff, but again, I'm sure like a lot of families, there is a lot more to the issue. The root is a lot deeper, just like any tooth or any tree root. Think of it is, those type of secrets are the kind of secrets that can ruin the family's name. And for the sake of that, and everybody still getting a little change and being able to buy a little Gucci or a little Fendi and still be able to buff their bald heads like Tawanda and drive a Tesla, with no full steering wheel and shit, bitch, you already living in the 2020 2045. That's why I say again, black folk, how about what they stand for and what we ought to do, but y'all still go out and patronize the same businesses that are helping to oppress you, and not just black folk, white folk too. Because I'm gonna just tell y'all like this, getting on my motherfucking soapbox. At this point in the game, right about now, the way they moving, gyrating and shaking in these political seats, we need to get about the bullshit. Right now, it ain't really too much time for no black shit, no white shit, no Jewish shit, no gay shit. We got to put all that stuff on pause. Why do you say that? Well, I have respect for all of that. But why do you say that? Because at the end of the day, as a whole, I don't give a fuck what your nationality is over here in this country, as a whole. If you don't find time to find out what they're doing behind your back as it pertains to lawmaking and decision making, as how you're going to be governed, if you don't take that time to find out what they're doing, and like I said, what their job titles are, what they're responsible for, and what they're supposed to do, you don't know what the fuck they're supposed to be responsible for. But we need to keep our eyes on them for right now. And we can get back to all this other stuff once we make sure we got them straight. Do I need further explain? I feel like I probably should. So when I say that, I mean, again, that prisons are definitely full of melanated people, over full, right? But the way things are going, as it pertains to citizenship and the way these laws are being made, it seems like it's coming to a point. It's pretty much a point that people can't even hardly live anymore off of certain salaries and still be able to put food on the table. So there's a whole lot more critical shit at play than all of the stuff. Listen, I want to fight for gay rights too. I want to fight for black rights. I want to fight to bring stuff like, overturn Roe v. versus Wade, so that women could have control of their bodies. So that you can be able to say what it is you want to do as a black female, white female, Hispanic, or whatever, this whatever you may be. You can make the decision as to what you want to do, and that somebody else is not making it for you. That's what I'm looking to see, right? We need to make sure that those things are in place first and stop fighting each other about color and shit like that. That shit is so taboo at this point. White folk, we here, we ain't going nowhere. We help build the shit. We ain't going nowhere. We're basically the owners and sole proprietors of all this shit. We ain't going nowhere. We just over here to watch and see what the fuck y'all doing to make sure y'all don't fuck up the thing. You know what I'm saying? Black folk, white folks ain't going nowhere. They're not going nowhere. Except probably Elon Musk. He going to the moon or Pluto, whatever the fuck he planning to go over there. Mexican people, they still coming through the border and sneaking up under the pipelines, catching planes and shit, tearing through the fence wire and all this stuff. They not going anywhere. What we have to do is learn. There's Chinese, Asian, all that. We have to learn to live together and to come together on a common ground so that we know what these people, especially if you're in the USA, what are they doing? Monitoring, making sure that we're being treated correctly and that our voices are being heard. And everything is not all about a dollar, because as long as everything is all about a dollar, that means that dollar is coming out of your pocket times 10 or 20 or 30 or 100. So wake the fuck up. Life is not about race. Life is not about status. It could be, but that can easily be taken away. So wake the fuck up and pay more attention to the bigger things in life that make sense, or that's going to get you further. But back to the Braxtons. I think that it kind of pissed me off when I heard Tawanda catch a fit about them. They were trying to set up a scene with Lil Kev, their dad, and they're going to include Big Kev. Tawanda actually took her morsel head ass and she decided to go off behind it and get all mad and said she never wants that person to ever be on that platform again. She does not want to give that person a platform to be on that platform, not from theirs. Lil Kev spoke with the attorney. The attorney told him and confirmed that he's the sole executor. What he wanted should have happened. Tracy really did not want a funeral. She did want a cremation. Okay. I get it. Maybe Big Kev may have gone against some wishes. Maybe he has not done everything right in life, but he was married to that woman for 25, 26 years. Right? Like Tony said before in that same episode, that on the bed of marriage, there's things that they discussed with, but we don't know what they discussed. Maybe when she wasn't in her mind anymore, maybe she did tell Big Kev it was okay to have a funeral, or maybe she didn't. Don't know. Don't have any proof. But as far as legal proof, as it stands with her attorney, she did not want any of that, and that she didn't will anything of hers to anybody other than her son. Her son is the only person that was to have any financial gain from her untimely demise. Oh, my shoulder fucking me up. I was supposed to get a massage. I still didn't do that. And then tomorrow, I don't think I have the time because I got to study for a fucking exam. I got on Tuesday. Boy, life should be moving. Anyway, the Braxtons, like I said, I will not make them a full show. I will not make them my weekly show or any of that. I will just probably continue to put them in the lineup on Sunday nights at 7:15. because I still just don't deem it worthy enough of our time to make a soul show for. Also thinking of something else, so we'll see how that goes. What else do I have? So I said I had three more things. We talked about the barbecue dingling. We talked about the monkeys. The man got called the monkeys. Okay. Okay. So everybody's of course talking about Judge Mathis and his wife's impending divorce. We all know Judge Mathis with his snappy comebacks on his show as a television judge, TV personality, with his witty little comebacks and everything like that. He was married to his wife for, I think, about 39 or 40 years. It was said that she went and filed divorce first, um, and then it was said that he went and filed. So I don't know what the fuck happened, honestly, but um, people are all wondering why they filed for divorce, what actually happened between this couple, because as we all know, there's been so long that Judge Mathis had been on his show, referring to his beautiful wife and how long they were married. They had just been in the media and in the headlines a lot here in the last few years, but in good light. So this is the very first time that they've been shown in a negative light or depicted in a negative light in the public eye. And the fucked up part about it, I find that it all comes down to one of the biggest things, which is the D word, divorce. Now, they have several children. I think like 3 grown ass kids together. People are wondering why they're getting a divorce. I was wondering the same thing too. And basically, they gave good old fancy Hollywood talk. We checked into it and said it was irreconcilable differences. Now, again, we all know that's Hollywood talk for mind your motherfucking business. We'll tell you, 20 years from now when one of us dead, the kids will probably come out and tell you why we really got divorced. And 9 times out of 10, it's going to probably be because they ran through the inheritance that we've left behind. And they need a couple of dollars. So, but irreconcilable differences for a couple that's been married 39, 40 years, it sounds, of course, in the Hollywood realm, it does sound very suspicious. There's no way the way this man talked about this woman and adored her, and the way she showed up to different events that he was at, or with her, or that he was invited to, with him as his arm candy. I just don't see the irreconcilable differences. Your kids are grown. Y'all have, plethora of fucking dollars. Y'all can go anywhere y'all want to do, anything y'all want to do. If y'all want to try fencing, karate classes, clay classes, parasailing, knitting classes, pottery classes, cooking classes, any fucking thing y'all wanted to do, y'all had the money for. So why is it that y'all married all this long motherfucking time and now the 39, 40 years, and now y'all decide all of a sudden there are some differences that are irreconcilable? Please. Bitches sound like somebody been brewing that up for a long time. Now this shit is not just coming around. They've been tossing that shit around like motherfucking tennis for a while. This is not come out of nowhere. That just doesn't happen. As much as Trump fucked up, and got caught, dealing with Stormy Daniels and shit, Melania ain't divorced him. Although there's probably a whole lot of other reasons why she ain't divorced him too, but we ain't gonna even talk about that over here on this channel because, again, I don't want to get canceled because she don't even hold that man's hand. Ain't that some shit? You be married to somebody that want to hold your hand? That's crazy. That's like when you been married for like 40 years and you a retired librarian and a retired school teacher. Bitch, look, we just glad we made retirement. You know what I'm saying? And he done fucked so many school teachers over there down to the schoolhouse. And I done taught so many lessons over here in the library section over here, biblically. And we just wait for our kids to go ahead and graduate college, and then we're gonna be off on our own and just go ahead and divorce and say fuck the rest. Exactly. Ashley said, hey, yes, they ain't been happy for years. The wife probably got her man. Yeah, she probably went and found her. But the thing about it, Judge Mathis is, he's for a man of a particular age, you know, he's aesthetically pleasing. I don't think he's bad looking. She ain't no fucking, prize pygmy queen either. I feel like they both were hand in hand. They didn't have shit together. Then they had a lot together, including 3 kids. And all of a sudden, you want to up and leave. 39, 40 years, bitch, you better go in the other room and lay down and drink you some chamomile tea and think it over. You know what I'm saying? Go over there and lay down and smoke you one and go burn one and drink your little wine or some chamomile tea or some Tennessee whiskey or something like that. I don't know. Take you a couple of shots. Get you a good soak in the tub and think about some shit. But don't know. What the fuck wrong with you? Go somewhere and sit down. 40 years? Shit, please. Please. 40 years? No. No. If we get to 39, 40 years, there ain't no way I'm finna sit up here and I'm finna sign no divorce papers. And if I have to, I'm gonna sue the drawers off your ass. I want to make sure I take everything you got because you done lost your motherfucking mind to my son. We both around this bitch. Now we need each other. One need the other to hear. One need the other to see. One know how to make cornbread. The other don't know what the fuck cornbread is. They just eat it. You sound fucking stupid. You got crow's foot all up under your shit. Them here got 2 knee replacements. No. You got fucking tendonitis in the knees and shit, the elbows and whatnot. That don't make no sense. Take your crazy ass over there and go lay down and take your blood pressure medicine and go lay the fuck down. Because apparently your blood pressure is up. Ain't nobody getting no divorce in this bitch. You better go to sleep it off. That's what you can go do. Go take you a cat nap and you'll feel a whole lot better and you'll feel way different when you wake the fuck up. I make a little French bread, toast bread, some shit. And 40 years, please get the fuck out of my face. Now, like, you know what I'm saying? Like Mary J. Blige said, 11 years. I can see around about that point, you know what I'm saying? You come in, I want a divorce. Well, you know what? Shit ain't been going right for a while. I want one too. I thought that cow lick on your head, I thought that was just I thought that was a temporary situation. I thought your barber was fucking up the thing. And come to find out the shit hereditary from your grandfather, your great-grandfather, and your daddy. I thought about it a long time ago too. So now that you bring it up, you know what I'm saying? Bitch, that roast, you swear for God, been so good all these years. I've been wanting to just take a bite, just take the whole thing and scrape it under the table and give it to Old Yellow. I don't like your cooking. I've been waiting for you to improve. I've been inviting your ass or giving you gift cards to cooking classes for years. You ain't got the hint? Shit. I'm tired of that fried bologna sandwich on Friday nights. Bitch, give me something different. And you come bossing them here 11 years. Yes, I'll let your ass fly like with that boy named R. Kelly. You can fly, get the fuck on. I'm cool with that. But 40 years? Shit. 40 years. You taking 40 years of my life, bitch. You taking all of my youth. You probably got all my good sex out of me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing to really offer. you got all, you done got, listen, like Loretta Devine saying that for color girls, he done ran off with all my stuff. Listen, bitch, no. You done got all the good cooking out of me. You know what I'm saying? You done given them all your good blowjobs and shit. You can't really do all that stuff no more. You ain't ready to start over. What the fuck you mean? Your knees ain't all that good either, bitch. You got a doctor's appointment in the morning. You need me to drive you to? You better go lay your stupid ass down and go to sleep. The 40 years to about getting divorced. Bitch, please. Better get in there and get you some toast and get you some apple butter and put on that motherfucker. Get you a glass of wine or something and sit out there and read you a good book or a bad person. Wouldn't give a fuck. But anybody about to get no divorce, that makes no sense. And then so some people have already come up with different scenarios like well, Judge Mathis came out saying he part of the LGBTQ, he in the rainbow. Now people need to just quit lying. Stop lying so much. That I ain't seen that man post a motherfucking thing to my he part of the LGBTQ flag plus community. He did not say any of that. He didn't. I had to wet my whistle. But for them to talk about the man is gay. Now, I ain't gonna lie. Is it because he got a gay son? Is it because he's okay with the LGBTQ community? And that's what I'm saying. You cannot be a friend of the LGBTQ community, especially not as a man, and you not be fucking somebody over there in the gay community. You can't have no straight friend. Gays ain't supposed to have straight friends, and straights ain't supposed to have no gay friends. That's how it's supposed to be. Just like the Christian ain't supposed to have no sinner friends, the sinner friends ain't supposed to have no Christian friends, but the goddamn Christians are the goddamn sinner in the first place, so that's why they all friends from the get-go. Just saying. Just saying. But I don't think. See, but G, it's okay for a straight woman to have gay friends. It's not okay for a straight man to have straight gay male friends. Maybe I should, yeah. Because if a straight man got a gay friend as a stud, there's still probably some lead on to that in people's minds. Because now that they know she's gay, they probably depicting him as he's gay as well. But ain't no straight man supposed to have no gay straight man friend, and ain't no woman supposed to have no gay lesbian friend, because they gonna say that she eating on your charcuterie. They gonna say she over there munching on you like you Sunday brunch. But see, I'm glad you actually think that way, G. I'm glad you actually think that way, because there are a lot of people, and I don't know if because they've had bad experiences or they're actually brainwashed or they're homophobes or what. It could be a mixture of the few, but very few people, I'm telling you, feel that way. And that's coming from a gay man. I'm telling you, I've seen it. I was at a point, I'm not going to even tell you anybody I was like, I didn't want my dude being friends with a straight guy, because I felt like, at that point, that straight guy is probably going to want to experiment, try to get my nigga drunk and don't lay around and try to take advantage of him and do some shit. So for a while, that was part of my thought process as well. So I can understand how it can be a distorted idea or a distorted thought. She said, no, I think they're homophobic. I mean, that's because you have gay friends. She said, I look at men sideways when they treat gay men differently, because there's something in them that's liking it. I tell women all the time, your man fresh out of jail, depending on how long you've been in that bitch, you better check it out. Take him down and get an STD test. Okay? I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I know. If your man have been in the jail house, run around them through there, trust me, 9 times out of 10, not all of them. Not all of them. I promise you, not all of them. But a lot of them have girlfriends in prison. Or they are a girlfriend in prison. So test your man. Lord have mercy. Now y'all in the chat and y'all being messy as fuck. Ashley say, my gay friends have been telling me about some straight women who only use gays to make themselves feel secure. G replied, might have been messing with Messy C. Facts. Facts. And it's representatives like Messi C that we can't allow to represent us. We allow him to represent himself. And for all the above reasons, whatever you thinking in your mind is that reason. It's that reason. Whatever you thinking, I'm thinking in your mind, it's that reason. I'm not even finna, I'm not even going over sit and play games. Nene thought she was good at using gay men. You see when she put out the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and she tried to start that old botched ass show. I think right before COVID hit or somewhere around there, when she had those gays on there, low budget gays that were just saying shit and doing what she wanted them to do, and run game, have fun. That show didn't even get off the fucking ground because she had gays that were actually willing to do whatever it took to become somebody. Me, I have morals and I have standards. I have boundaries. Bitch, you ain't finna get me to do anything to be no fucking no fucking. I'm not your accessory. I'm not your accessory. Somebody say Nene Leaks is perfect. Okay, G say Nene Leaks is perfect for using gay men as accessories. Very true. Jay Daniels say, and Tamar too. Yeah, and Tamar and Claudia Jordan. You know what? All of them y'all name are basically is what they used to call back in the day as fag hags. And it was so funny to me how they would say when we used to say for the guys to give the gay guys give back the skirts and give back to this and give back to that. It's my whole thing is, have y'all not heard If I Was a Boy from both Aaliyah and Beyonce? So the whole thing is, at the end of the day, I don't understand why people don't understand that, you know, just like time, gender can be fluid. You know what I'm saying? And so just like me, I can operate in feminine or masculine energy. That's with anybody. That's with male and female. It's still a common balance. And so I think that people have a hard time understanding that. So these ladies basically again use them as yeah, I mean, I don't know what it is, but us gay men are a hot commodity in TV shows, movies now, Cheerio commercials, and all kind of shit. We in Gain and Tide commercials, both black and white and all kind of shit. They put you in everything now. As to where at first they be hollering about punk, faggot, all that different shit there. Now I ain't never been called any of those things because I just don't play that. No, I take it back. I've been called a few names, but I mean, they had to see me behind it. When I was a certain age, I would tell you, yes. When I heard certain words called to me or friends of mine that we were together, I was just that friend that I was. I've come a long ways because things like that, I was not willing to deal with those derogatory statements because I was taught by it was this drag queen, and the drag queen, I was young, I was 18 years old, and his real name was Sam, but I can't remember the drag name was. But she's always told me, the first thing you learn, bitch, little bitch, listen to me. You man first and gay second. So if these niggas out here in the street trying you, you make sure you show them your man side. They don't make you no less gay, but being a man don't make you no less gay, and being gay don't make you no less of a man. That's what the bitch taught me. So at the end of the day, in my mind, you could not cross me with calling me out my name or disrespecting me or pushing me around. It was not going to work for me. In my late teen years and my 20s, it was not going to work for me. It was not going to work. If I could, baby, your man would have to fight me. I don't give a fuck how bad he say he was. We got to go in because you're not going to talk crazy to me like that. Oh yes, G. In my neighborhood, there was one guy, two guys actually got their ass tore up in the garage by this it was this guy they caught in the neighborhood. He's called, enormous. I ain't even call his name, but because he ain't dead. Because he ain't dead. That sounds so bad. But um, apparently they was shooting dice and all this different stuff and smoking weed and all this different stuff in the barn and drinking or whatever have you, right? In this garage, really. In a barn. Sounds so fucking country. In a fucking garage. They were doing all this stuff. Basically, neighborhood illegal activity. Just a fun night. And some shit went wrong with the dice or whatever. They tried to play this gay guy, right? And he dressed up and everything. And so they figured, I guess, because he was there and because he was, all dressed up and stuff, it was going to cause him. Now, they grew up with him, so they should have known better. But I guess they figured, he in a gown or dress or whatever, that in a wig. I said, let me co-worker. In a wig, that they could actually like manhandle him. And it my grandmother's friend, her good friend, her son was one of the victims, that one of the males that fell victim to this shit, right? All over some dice. And this other guy that was known to be a big time drug dealer in the neighborhood. They both were, my grandmother was the ice cream lady, Dixie cup, and all that different shit. You buy your pickles, pig lips, and chips, and all that different stuff. So when they come to the house, or you see them walking by my grandmother's house while you sit outside on the porch, and they go to the corner store to buy their little lottery tickets or their little alcohol or, they gin or whatever. Because back home, you can buy gin and whatever hard liquor you want from any motherfucking gas station. You ain't got to be in no liquor store. You can buy everything you want at the film station, as they call it. So we're going around there. And so we seen one of them who's like lighter than me. He's damn near white, right? And he's coming around the corner. Now, my grandmother, she already got to fucking school, right? She been up since, she had chickens in the backyard. We was living in the city, right? My grandmother had 2 roosters back there, a few hens and shit like that back there. She would get the eggs and shit. We lived and we were in the city. She brought this shit from the country. So she was up before the fucking rooster crow. So by the time the rooster crowing by my window, on the fence in the morning, my grandmother's already up, and she didn't got the scoop from last night's ass whooping. So we sitting out there, and I'm sitting there looking, and I see this dude walk by. His shit is like on lump, like, you know what I'm saying? He's high yellow, and it was bruised and black and all swollen up. And so I looked at him. I said, "Hey, how you doing? What's going on, so and so, such and such?" My grandma spoke to me. "Hey there," and he spoke to us. And he kept walking. And so I looked around the rose bush he had, made sure he was in far enough distance, because I had a question. I said, "Man, Grandma, I wonder what happened to," I almost said his name, "what happened to his eye?" Because he didn't look like yesterday he walked past it going to the corner store. She said, "Child, I found out from Cinderella. They went down there fucking with so-and-so down there was playing dice in the garage, and they tried to, she said they tried to whip him. And said he flew around, come out the wig and the dress, and whooped both of their ass in the garage." And so I said, "Wait a minute, both of them." So now the other one lived not, right across the street. So at some point I seen the other, and I was like, "God damn!" I was like, "Did y'all even pinch the bitch?" Like, he must have came out his wig and his dress like motherfucking what that woman name is? Not Shira. Shira's a bad bitch too. Wonder Woman. He must have came out of this shit like Wonder Woman, jerked that wig off and that nightgown and shit, that 3-in-1, and just beat the tar shit out of them because they look bad. Listen, you hear me what I'm saying? Gee, you hear me what I'm saying? Every which way but loose is an understatement. He listened, like my grandma say, he whooped their ass till they rope like okra. You feel me? Beat the tar shit out of them. Yes, the hyena, cowboy, giddy up, ride with them, bullshit, beat out of them in the garage. And say all the other dudes that were in there, they just stood aside and just watched the whole thing. So in the neighborhood, you can hear when they walk down the street, you can hear certain shit they would, comments they would make, and they would get mad about it because the dudes were there and they watched. And clearly they didn't want no smoke. They didn't want no smoke. They was like, "Shit, if he up here tossing both day salad, you mean to tell me if he tossing the lettuce and the tomato, You thinking about to fuck around and become the cucumber? Nope. 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 Baby in shock wasn't the word because my grandma heard about it, and when me and her started on the porch, that heifer, she can barely keep a straight face when she spoke to him. Out there sitting with that fly swatter, swatting at fucking nothing with the fly swatter because she wanted to laugh so bad because his eye was looking like Debo. He had pork chop jaw. You know that pork chop jaw when they got that skinny jaw and that shit sit out there. You know them how them breakfast chops look when they fry on one side. She was grinning. When he passed, she was screaming. But I don't went so we was talking about Judge Mathis and his wife. My other question is, I really do want to know why they're actually getting a divorce. Not because I'm nosy, but because I'm nosy. And because I really want to know, like, why, after so many years of love, like, I mean, I hear people say you fall out of love with somebody, but it's like, I feel like after that long, when it's that real, how could it be so easy to turn it off and on? Like, fall out of love with somebody. I mean, like, damn, this is a person, like, this is someone you said I do to forever. Do you know what forever means? That's a long time. He did, and that was gonna be my next statement. He did say that he wanted her back and that it was his fault. Now I don't know what in the what Judge Mathis did to make that woman go down there and want to call the white folks to come into his life because she's looking for spousal support. She wants spousal support. Or as my grandma would say, she want non-support. She want a check. And I'm trying to find out if they had a prenup. Now I'm figuring maybe they didn't, or they did have a prenup. Because I ain't no lawyer. But I'm thinking like this. If there was a prenup, she would probably go for that first. Or that prenup probably says she gets nothing. I don't know how that works. If it says she gets nothing or X amount, why would she just take that? Because she's asking for spousal support. Why not just go outright and just ask for the the prenup be granted? Because I'm pretty sure he decided to give her something. But I mean, I can't say I hope she get every penny. I want to know what he did first. But he must have did something that he knows his fault. Maybe he just wasn't there enough. Maybe he just didn't give her enough of his time. It could have been something so small. Because you notice a lot of these celebrity married couples, they file for divorce. She said every penny in all caps. A lot of them file for divorce, and I find out too that with some of them, they do it because they want to awake something in their mate, right? It's like, okay, I've been talking to you, I've been, speaking in tongues, I've been ocean, I've been humming, I'm hitting here, ocean coming in Hyundai, all this, I've been doing all this different shit. I even wrote it to you in a love letter in Spanish and Yiddish. But you ain't hearing me as to what I want. And I think a lot of them find that if, again, take Dr. Jackie and Curtis or Simone and what's his name? Simone and oh boy. Shit, I can see it. Y'all know his name. Simone and Cecil. That's it. Simone and Cecil. Look at them. It took them to divorce for Simone to file for divorce, for Cecil to wake up to the fact that she felt like his best friend, whatever that woman's name was impeding on their marriage, impeding on their vows, and making it very difficult for them to have a productive marriage and a good friendship within that marriage. And so with that, she decided that there should be a wake-up call and that she may need to file divorce to show them for divorce to see if the love was still real, if Cecil was willing to fight for her and to understand the severity of her feelings and why she was saying all of the things that she was saying and how she was voicing the things that she was voicing, right? And trying to get him to hear her out. And I felt like her sometimes with couples, maybe It's not good. It's not good at all. I feel like therapy should be brought in first, and taken care of before um, one decides to ultimately divorce, especially after that long, you know. And so I think though that it's probably a final tool that one uses in a marriage when they want to test the faith of their marriage to see if that person is willing to fight for it, or if they're willing to relinquish that marriage to divorce and move on to something else, or calmer waters, I guess, in their mind, or more reconcilable differences. Mm-hmm. And I'm still getting phone calls. Oh, wait a minute. While I'm getting on the live, I'm back, y'all. I'm still getting phone calls. But so yeah, I hope that they can actually bring this to a better resolution, something other than divorce, because I think that is depending on what the fuck he did. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? They say for better or for worse. Y'all people don't know what worse is, honey, sometimes. Sometimes they just don't. But maybe he must have got to the worst. They say all worse. So he must have hit the worst meter and beyond. That's why she said, I can't take this shit no more and I got to go. So I don't know. I would just say this. With 3 grown children, probably maybe even grandchildren, I don't know, 40 years of marriage, I think there's more to the story. I do think that they should at least consult the professional advice of a therapist to see if these irreconcilable differences can be reconciled. All right. So that's that. Moving on to my final and last thing, because I'm already 42, hour and 42 minutes in. Damn, see? Sorry. So Cam Newton, former NHL player for the Carolina Panthers twice, and also for the New England Patriots, has a podcast called Funky Fridays, in which he did, I think, not this past Friday, but the Friday before. So I may be a day late, a week late, but I ain't never a week dollar short. So I got my shit. But he has a podcast called Funky Fridays. And I also saw him on, there's a show now that's on Hulu. If you guys got time and looking for some other shit to watch other than Deliverance, for you scary bitches that can't watch Deliverance, go on over to Hulu and watch We Are Family, which is hosted by Anthony Anderson and his mother, Doris. If I got her name right. It's basically a show predicated off of there's a talent in the family that has not yet been presented to the world. That individual comes out and they, croak out some ditty. Some have been excellent and some have been very mediocre, but they sing a song. Then at some point they sing a duet with the family member, and you get to guess who their family member is by the clues that you see in the background and all that stuff when they sing and they do the duet with the famous celebrity family member. Good show. Good show. So said that to say that Cam Newton and his younger brother were actually on the show. So that's why I brought that piece up. So if you're looking for some shit to watch, go over there on Hulu and watch what I said. We Are Family, hosted by who? Anthony Anderson and his mother, Doris. But anyway, the Funky Friday shit really turned funky because Cam Newton was on there and he actually had a young lady, a young black woman named by the name of Dr. Cheyenne. And Dr. Cheyenne was on there with Cam Newton, and Cam Newton decided to be vulnerable, speaking about the fact that he had 8 children by, I think, 4 or 5 baby mamas, but saying that he also wants more children, right? That's what he told Dr. Cheyenne. And Dr. Cheyenne asked him, about the possibility of marriage to the next young lady he decides to have, his next offspring with, or maybe even the possibility of any of the others at all. Cam Newton's response was that while he's very comfortable making offspring, for those of you who are young, it's making babies, making children. He's very comfortable with that, and he wants more to add to the 8 that he already has. while he's okay with that, he does not see marriage in his future. He does not want to be married. He has a fear of marriage. He has marriage phobia. I don't know what the fuck that's called for marriage in a medical term because I never had to deal with that before. But somebody Google it and look it up and see what it say. But I have never seen that or heard of that before in my life until, of course, Nick Cannon. Now, Nick Cannon, we cannot say has a fear of marriage because he did marry Mariah Carey and had them children, right? She lit his ass the fuck up. She told him, she said, oh, so it's a problem. You know, it's easy for you to lay down with a young lady, decide you want to procreate and have a child with them, but you have a fear of marriage, but you don't have fear of creating broken homes for the children. Well, no, she said, but still, with those children, they're all under separate roofs. So with that being said, they will never get enough daddy time or any equal daddy time because you're spreading yourself thin. You spreading yourself like mayonnaise on wheat bread all over the goddamn city and the creation of the town and stuff. So, you know, once she dropped that bomb on him, he's basically saying that it should be okay to procreate consistently and not even think about the possibility of settling down and marrying someone. Cam Newton, you sound stupid as shit. I'm so glad Dr. Cheyenne lit your goofy ass up because your hair always says something was wrong, but I thought that was just a statement piece. But you airing out your mind saying some goofy ass shit like that lets me know that you're about as stupid as you look when I thought, you know what I'm saying? You done had too many head injuries while you was over there with the South Carolina Panthers or the New England Cincinnati, New England Patriots. You cannot be a good father with children in so many households. I've explained that portion to you all before from a personal standpoint. My father has 15 or plus kids in several different homes. He has never been able to be a full-time father to any of us. Any of us. Even till this day. And whether that seems like taking something from him or putting something on his chest or stars on his chest, I don't care how that looks. He and I have this conversation on the regular. I am very clairvoyant. I am a Sagittarius. I'm not blunt, but I'm going to tell you what the fuck's on my mind if you are daring to ask. And sometimes even if you don't, especially if it pertains to me. So at the end of the day, I know sometimes the trauma or the lack of presence of your father can cause certain issues. Now, I'm not finna sit up and tell you no lollygagging ass bullshit about, oh, because my daddy wasn't in my life, that's why I'm gay. That's not what happened with me. Not at all. I was looking at the male physique and fucking PE all the time, so that was already a sign to me. I just didn't know what the fuck it was. But I have not that to explain to anyone. But the bottom line, I can honestly tell you, I'm not like Saucy Santana. I'm not even gonna say Saucy Santana because that's a dig and that's wrong. Because at the end of the day, I'm not gonna sit up here and say I would agree with him and say that. That's what I mean. I will agree with him and say, just like when he's talking to his mother about his sexuality and him saying that he's been sexually abused by certain family members and cousins, it does not play a factor into the fact that he was, because he was sexually molested, it does not play into the fact that he is gay. I agree with the same thing. Although he and I both felt under, very similar, well, very direct, situations. We were pretty much sharing the same situations, by a cousin. But at the same time, I still would say, if I was asked to this very day, which I've been asked before, do you think that's what made you gay? No. Nope. I would tell you how I know, but that's for me to know and you to find out one day when we get to know each other a whole lot better than what we got going on right now. But I will say this. At the end of the day, it is across the board absolutely wrong. When I say wrong, I'm not saying it's wrong if you act, you fool around, have a baby here, baby there. I mean, or you had a baby with someone prematurely and you don't have a baby with, now you have a family with your wife or whatever have you, you know, and I can't say mistakes happen because a child is never a mistake. That's a beautiful blessing, if you ask me, in my opinion. So I will say that you were maybe in your not so mature years, and you had a child prematurely, and now you still have to engage upon the responsibility of that child. But in addition to that, now you have this family. You know what I'm saying? Those things I would deem excusable, right? I would deem those things excusable because life happens. Life is lifing all day long, every day, all 24/7. So with that being said, a situation like that I understand, but a situation like Cam Newton's or Nick Cannon's, well, no, I don't understand it at all. I'm not trying to. And that's what she said, G. They're actually creating broken homes. That's what they're doing. They're creating broken homes. Girl, you built up, cousin G. Listen, them hips, girl. Listen, built Ford tough. But yes, but the thing about it is though, G, he don't want no vasectomy. He don't. I've seen him set up surgery for she say stacked up like Pringles, baby. Listen, no, not like Pringles, because Pringles are straight up and down. You got curves. Listen, baby. Cousin G, you built like one of them honey things. With one of them fine honey jugs. They ain't got no belly, but got them hips and that ice and all that carrying on and whatnot and so forth. Ain't no Pringles can, but you stacked up though. Yeah, you stacked, but not like no Pringles can. But no, I've seen many vasectomies. I've set the surgeries up plenty of days. I've been in the surgeries. I know exactly how they go. Um, that's not the problem. I'm, vasectomies are not the problem. It's the fact that this idiot is telling us that he really wants to go out there and slang dang-a-lang like newspaper, and apparently his semen all over the place, and make more children. Um, he really is basically telling us he wants to be a Rolling Stone. Wherever he lays his head as his home, even though he got all this money, you know, um, it just, again, it says to me, as old as he is, he's still not have matured. He's still not has come to a point to where he knows what a fatherly role is and how to actually execute that um with his children, and how to build a relationship. You have 8 children. If you chose now to have a wife and have 5 or 6 more, 8 more children, and she down for that, come on, community dangalang. Shit, that ain't community dangalang. That's continental dangalang. Because he probably got them all over the map. Probably got them all over the map. And my thing is, again, some women like that. Look at Nick Cannon. Them women see all them babies that man got. They know he got all them children. They don't give a fuck. They either see a good payday or they see some good dangalang, some good dangaslong. See, like my auntie saying, ain't no pencil scratching that good. And I don't know about for the rest of them bitches like Big Freed and all the rest of them are taking 12 and 13 inches of meat. That don't make no sense. 13 inches of dick ought to blow anybody's kidneys out. You take 13 inches of dick, you better go get your kidneys checked the next day, because you 9 times out of 10, you probably going into renal failure. Ain't no human being supposed to have that much dankalang up in their ass or their coochie. They charcuterie. Maybe G say, she had one child and sat down. Well, he sat down all right. He just had about 7 more people. He had one that sat down, but he had about 7 more women sitting on his lap after he sat down. He made sure to bust a good grapevine up in there. Oh, Ashley, you say you're brewing baby number 2. Are you with child currently? Apparently so. Congratulations. We about to have a new little cousin running around, tearing about shit. But I bet Ashley just don't even play that kind of shit though. She about to listen. She about to make him get somewhere inside down. Oh, you only 5 months. Oh, listen. Five months. Listen. So 5. That's September, October, November, December. Well, if you hold out long enough and make sure they're Sagittarius, you're gonna be in good shape. Yes. Yeah, she a Memphis mommy. I bet she lay around and listen. She said she gonna say how Bruce say she only gonna chew her cabbage one time. After that, I believe Ashley probably light into them babies' asses. I don't blame you. Let them know who the boss is. I'm you the mama. But I'm so excited for you though, cousin. But so no, he she said, luckily she found a good husband. Listen, a present helping us a time of trouble ain't no joke. Ain't no joke. And I said he write a book called A Good Man Is Hard to Find. He's a good gee, you stupid. He's a good man, Savannah. You better hold on to him, Ashley. He's a good man, Savannah. I know that's real. Y'all asses is crazy. But no, I really do believe that with this situation, he really needs to probably go to therapy before he decides to have any other children and bring any other children into this world to understand what kind of fetish he has with making children, because he ain't no bad looking man. But I'm like, damn, I ain't seen them kids. You might have some good looking ones for a while, but after a while, you're gonna fuck it up. You're gonna have 7 or 8, 9, 10 of them, and by the time you get to 11, you keep going, you're gonna be them fucked it up. Tell me, look at T.I.'s kids. Uh, listen, because what name is Lil King, whatever, he getting on my nerve. No, he don't need no more children. He don't need to get married. He need to just go over there and let them jake that motherfucking what's the name out and clip that motherfucker off and take that little piece of rice off that vase and call it a day. Then go and jake that vase out of there. Because every time I did one of those surgeries and I set them up and I assisted with them, it was always every time every man ever came in there. It don't matter how much lidocaine I put in them nuts. It don't matter how much numbing gel I put in them nuts or how many times I shoot them balls with that numbing cream. I mean, with that with that fucking lidocaine. All of them men still feel the same thing. We slice them balls up and down there to the bottom and get them forceps and pull that vase out of there. That vase, they never feel that little slice. That's be the last thing they feel, because that's the biggest thing they have to hear from aside to the vase not reconnecting, right? Because if the vase reconnecting, basically you have either a botched surgery or that bitch was just really strong and you just really a baby maker. But once we pull that vase out that second before we cut it, every man always feels the feeling of being kicked in the nuts the entire time we're pulling on it. It never fails. I mean, I've had some guys come in, them and their wife, they're like, look, I had one guy come in, he says, he was only, I think, 27, 28, and he and his wife had an agreement. They had girl, boy, girl, boy, girl, and The agreement was he wanted a boy for the next one that they were pregnant with currently, and she wanted another girl. So the agreement was if it wasn't a boy, that he would have to get snipped. True story. He would go ahead and go through with the vasectomy, and if it was no, if it was a boy, he was good, but if it was a girl, he had to get the vasectomy. So they found out later on in the pregnancy, before she even had the baby, there was another girl. So he went ahead and set up the surgery, and yeah, we snipped them nuts. Yeah, I mean, King is still a child himself. He's a toddler. He's a fucking toddler. And it's been showing it's his little sister surpassing him with being on stage with her mother and being on stage with Escape or whatever have you, doing different things that he has not had the opportunity to really yet do. That's bothering him. I guarantee it's bothering him because he feels like the little girl surpassed him. That's fucking with his mind. So, yeah, I'm glad he's staying with his grandmother because 9 times out of 10, I don't know how he would have reacted towards his sister being a bigger star than he is at the age that she is, and that's what he always wanted for himself, and he's never gotten the opportunity. Gee, I see why he thought he would be the golden child. He looked like the golden child. He looked like my. I told y'all my mama coming up here to see me. My mama coming, my oldest sister, and my aunt Lucille. Listen, my aunt Lucille, I don't. We never put her in charge of fucking with the cornbread. She can't make no cornbread. We can't let her make the biscuits. You know why? Every time she make the biscuits or the cornbread, it's just like it ain't even got brown on this bitch. It ain't got no yellow or nothing. It's always albino biscuits and albino fucking cornbread, and we let her fuck with the thing. So we rarely let her do that. So King, he looks golden like an Oreo, so he ain't got no tan on him. He ain't got no melanin, and his mom and them. I'm surprised the boy didn't come out clear. I'm surprised he didn't come out clear. Oh yes, you talking about fun? Like, yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of fun. I'm really doing a lot of fucking cooking though, but I'm gonna have a lot of fun. I have a couple of things lined up for my mom and my aunt. There's this concert that Shirley Caesar's gonna be here. I don't know why, but they still love Shirley Caesar. She's still holding her mule, and they want to watch her hold it. So fuck it. I'm gonna get them some concert tickets to go down there and watch Shirley hold her mule, and all that kind of shit. They're gonna have that good old time. Probably take them and go get the nails painted or something because my mama, they don't believe in anybody cut their nails and shit, so they probably will get painted or something like that. Girl, tomorrow can auntie make a cold dish of potato salad? Fuck no. Fuck no. I don't even think she fuck with that kind of shit. She got certain things she deal with and that she do. Now, if we put on potato salad, she probably know how to do it, but that is not gonna be her go-to. And we ain't gonna send her to it first. Yeah, everybody. Shirley's like she the grandma on gospel, and everybody just want to see her. I've taken my mama to see a lot of artists, but this one, aside to Dr. Norwood or whatever, and I'm like, Mama, goddamn, can you bring it up the part? Like half the people you fucking like, they sleeping in their grave. They can't even perform for your ass no more. Like, don't think you can see them as on DVD on replay on something. Child, he's about tell mama bring me some. She said, tell mama bring me some chicken from the Blue Store. Last I heard, ain't nobody really fucking around with the Blue Store after they found out they got shut down. Some shit about having rats up in there or something with the I guess the news from home. God knows. They said the rats was up in there and the health department shut one of them down. Yeah, Lee Williams gonna be in that concert as well. Now I'm gonna be looking more for a miracle. I'll be over with the Clark sisters and Yolanda Adams and Tamla Man then, but Mama there wants to see Shirley hold her mule and they want, they want to hear that stuff. What that song is, Mama. I don't know. I remember Mama in a happy, all of those old shit. And Mama asked me about Dr. Norwood. I don't know if Dr. Norwood or one of them. I said shit, Dr. Norwood been dead longer than Betty White. I'm trying to read these comments because I'm pretty much. Yeah, Lee Williams been dead. I guess they decided to carry on without him, but I wonder who the lead singer is now. Like I said, I don't really like Shirley. I listen to Shirley on replay on some old shit. You know what I'm saying? In Line for a Blessing. I remember Mama, Shouting John and stuff like that. Well, it ain't Dorothy ain't the one that's dead. What's the other one name from the Caravan? Dorothy Norwood and what's the one of them gone? She done got up out of this motherfucker. I can tell you that much. What name? Alberta? No. What? Albertina Walker. That's the one. Albertina Walker is the one she loves so much. That's the one that going on be with Shouting John and Jesus and yeah, Albertina and them. Yeah, they been checked up out of here. They got on the midnight train to Georgia or somewhere they went to. Albertina been dead. But so yeah, okay. Yeah. So but yeah, that and probably I said we'll get the nails painted or something. Or a couple other things I got lined up for them to do. The one thing I can't take it on some motherfucking go-karting, because listen, I ain't finna go take him to the hospital. I sit up here and say I've been trying to child-proof the whole house because I got the AARP car carrying members coming out into my shit. So I gotta make sure that everything is senior citizen operable. I might do a meet and greet. I don't know. Depending on how mama feeling. Because she come on talking all kind of shit to y'all. Y'all wouldn't know how to handle her. Oh, gee, I went over the new season of Braxton's. I'm feeling it, but not feeling it. We went over that. We talked about how they basically are using Tracy for clout. Yes, I can get back to it. Let me see. I'm working on it, y'all. Hold on. Let's see something. I'm doing this for Cousin G, y'all. Right before you came in, we just got through talking about it too. Yeah, there we go. We had talked about it earlier, G. We all just agree that basically that Tracy is their new storyline, and that's how they're gonna make their money off this season. If nothing else, with WeTV and make good on this last season. If nothing else, because I've been trying to find out the stats on the show and see what the ratings are, but they have not reported anything. They said there's no ratings to be reported, so I haven't seen anything to find out if they yeah, I know I really liked I really like Trina. I was telling her how good her voice is and how she should have been doing more music. But no, someone had the Golden Girls out here this weekend, y'all. So, or for the next week, and I just not be cooking and studying, answering all kind of unorthodox ass questions because old folks ask questions that makes no sense. Why they got 3 lights in here? Why them lights on that track? Why them lights on that road? Where the sofa at? Why you gotta sit in this way? Why the TV on that wall? Why the smell like this? Why the scent like that? They put carpet in here, but not that. Listen. So I gotta get myself mentally prepared for those kind of questions. Oh yeah, G. I said last call was my favorite one. It's my last call, last call. Hey Cupid, why you looking stupid? Got an arrow, won't you use it? Yeah, I'm not singing no tension because it's a whole lot better than that. I'm just tired and my voice is tired. I still got more studying to do as I have a test coming up Tuesday. So listen, somebody pray for me. I gotta make sure to make it through. I'm trying to get this money. But that is all I have for you, my dears. I have been on here for 2 hours. I didn't know it was going to take that long, but I really got into the show, and I'm thinking you guys really got into it as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show tonight. If this is your first time joining the live, make sure that you go ahead and hit the subscribe bell so that when we go live next Sunday, which will be every Sunday at 7:15 p.m., you can be one of the first ones to join family, friends, and cousins here at 7:15 p.m. live on Sunday nights and joining the conversation. And also make sure to share these lives and share the videos and the channel with your other friends, your other cousins, your other classmates, co-workers, all those people. Because over here, of course, let's help the channel grow, right? So make sure we want to always do that, grow the channel. And last but not least, I want to make sure, again, like I did at the top of the show, I want to let you guys know how much I appreciate you all and everything that you guys do, how you hold it down for me, and how you actually hear for me. A lot of you all, G, Ashley, a lot of you all have been with me before I even started the live and got a standard show. In a scheduled show. And this is actually the beginning of it. But being there with me through all of that time, I've only been on YouTube now probably about 3 years. It's one of the quickest to get monetized, which was surprising because I didn't think nobody gave a fuck about what I had to say. But again, that all goes hand in hand to say thank you again for being my backup, my backbone, my support, my friends, my family, my cousin, because again, without you guys, I could not do this show confidently. All this activity y'all gave me in the comment section, I am more than grateful. I again always, like I used to say, I feel like I ask so much of you guys, but you all give me so much in return every time, never failing. And for that, I want to say thank you. Um, you are welcome, G. I enjoyed myself. I really did. With you guys. It was really fun. I got through it. I at least finished my drink because most of the times it still be damn near full because I be too busy running my lips. But I felt like it was a good show tonight. I had fun. Last but not least, again, if you enjoyed the show, please go ahead and take that time. There's a Cash App there streaming across the screen. Go ahead and put in whatever has touched your spirit, whatever the Shondo Holy Ghost spirit has touched you with to put in the collection basket, go ahead and do that. If they told you don't put nothing in there because you know you got to pay your rent because this is rent time, don't put shit in there. Just you being here at least makes me feel good and warms my heart. But if you choose to, go on here so we can keep this channel going. Like I told you, I gotta pay this Discover bill for all this shit I went and bought from Mac from the Apple Store. So yes, it would help. But again, thank you guys for so much for being here with me. I love you guys so much. Make sure and always remember to love yourself first and foremost, and love on those who choose to love on you in the same in return. Because again, we have no time for lanyard. All right. Love you guys so much. Until next week or later this week, have a good night.